Hello everyone, my name's Ice37, and is the morning today, and I'm messing up. But hello everyone, I'm Ice, and today I'll be here with Shadow for this upcoming match of Bingo. Shadow, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Good morning. Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, wherever it is.
So, today we are spinning the Wheel of Slugcats for our two teams to match off here today. This is top 8 and an elimination match. So the team that loses here today will be out of the tournament. Now, I know you has a hunter score runner, but if you were to play this, which character would you want if you were to be a part of the bingo match?
Oh, that's maybe Rivulet just for speed, or not Saint. I wouldn't go. I was thinking of Saint for the movement, but maybe Spearmaster or Artificer as well, just for combat.
We have found a lot of the Artificer runs to be really, really rough.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The other thing is with some of these characters, if a team has more experience with that character, it could be really hard for the other team to be able to deal with it.
Yeah.
I will spin the wheel now. One thing I also like to point out is interesting. Saint can throw spears because it's expedition.
Oh yeah.
And the map's actually really nice.
Survivor.
But we got Survivor, so we're gonna poke our teams here today and see what they think, and if they want to veto the character or not. So one of our teams is okay. Waiting to hear from the other one, as my mic eternally has problems. Still waiting to hear back from the second team here, but I have a feeling we're going to be going forward with Survivor here today. We've had a lot of basic Slugcats recently. The most ran character is actually Hunter so far. We are going to be going forward with Survivor, so I will be making that lobby for them, and they'll be joining us in just a moment here. Alright, to kind of go over our runners here today, Brian and Shukitsu both have some basic experience with speedrunning. And then Skeffir and Sigma. Sigma has done a lot of Hunter story recently, while Skeffir has done, I believe, all of the challenges that the Discord hosts. I might be wrong about that.
I believe so.
So
I'm not sure about this latest batch of 5, but everything else I'm fairly certain has been completed. So very well rounded as a player.
So we will see how well Brian and Shukitsu do with the assured experience that Skeffir and Sigma had. I have seen Skeffir do some very interesting stuff through the previous matches, so I love to see that going on through here. I'd love to see the teamwork between Brian and Shukitsu as well. Now the teams are ready, so we are going to be transferring over to the main scene now. We're going to be hearing audio from Shukitsu here for this match today. So now we have 2 squares here that we are 100% going to be re-rolling for everyone. That being the complete X amount of squares before anyone on your team dies.
Oh, that...
We do not want that square to exist. Now, as we change a few things and we talk to production about what squares we do or don't want, Shadow here hasn't been around for all of the matches here, and maybe a bit new on some of the things. So if you have any questions on any of the squares that we have here, I can definitely answer that, and I'll also help the audience here understand what is going on as well.
So what's the second column from the top, or the second row from the top on the left and right sides? I'm not sure what those are referring to.
So we have, so I'm going to remove a part of this here. Which I know I'm not. So we have killed 2 white squid cicadas in 1 cycle, and we have stored 2 colored pearls in a shelter in Skylands, if those are the ones you were
Okay.
asking about. So a lot of these you can start to kind of put together the more you see them, especially if you know a lot of Rain World.
Yeah.
But basic idea with some of them are transport a hazer to pipe yard. There can also be the inverse of transport grub out of garbage waste.
Oh, gotcha.
So we have a good bit of carrying things to different places. Also just trying to get a bomb for that outskirts toll. That we need to throw a bomb at the toll on outskirts.
Yeah. I see towards the bottom right corner, there's a couple with a karma symbol and a creature, a batfly and a hazer.
Yep.
Is that saying to... Oh, okay.
We are going to
Just
be
to eat them.
eating them, yes.
Okay. Those don't seem too bad, especially like on the far right column, just 2 of those right next to each other with the hazers. Could make for some synergy. I also see a couple of taming ones scattered across the board, which
yes.
could be interesting.
You don't have to get friend. You don't even have to rest with the lizard. You just need to get to the point where if you did rest with the lizard, they would get friend points.
Oh, okay.
So the mod will tell you when you... So to lock in any square, you must rest after completing it. For the most part, some are different.
Oh, yeah.
And so the mod will tell you when you are good to rest, and you will get that squared. So we're going to be changing some of these easy squares. Eating Batfly will now be 15.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a little low there. Especially as Survivor, and not maybe one of the characters that ate meat, and so would have it scaled down.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking where everything is here. I don't know where the arena unlocks for Vulture Mask or the Grub is. I wouldn't be surprised if both are in Chimney. I believe the Grub is in Chimney, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I believe the Grub is in Chimney. The Vulture, I think it might be in Sky Islands. So, if it's not in Chimney, it's close by.
Yes.
Oh, it's the Vulture. Is it the Vulture Mask or the Vulture itself?
I believe it is just the mask, yes.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure where that unlock would be then. I'm only familiar with just the creature.
Going over a few other things. Now, when it comes to the Karma Flower, eat 5 Karma Flowers. Karma Flowers don't normally spawn unless that square exists, so we won't be eating Karma Flowers for them.
Oh.
So this be a more chill experience. Now I am noticing steel rocks from scavengers. We're going to change that to spears due to the nature of scavengers actually having rocks and picking them up. Now let me make sure of teams here. So now, is there any route that you're really thinking about? Again, there's the middle of the second row, which is you have to trade items from a scavenger merchant to another scavenger merchant.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of the far right column here, especially with like Pipe Yard and Sky Islands right next to each other, and you can get the grapple worm unlock. Well, is that in Chimney? I might be misremembering.
Yes.
But I see the 3 middle in the far right column might be easy to get close together, or not necessarily close together, but time-wise.
As we've found in the past, at least when it matters, the most important squares are all of the ones that are on the diagonals, as they count for the most bingo lines.
Oh yeah,
with the
that's
center
true.
square being the most important. Center square we've often had be slightly easy, But this one is going to be one of the longer ones that can exist in a match. However, it
Yeah.
is shoreline to moon, so it really isn't that hard. It's kind of just go to moon at this point.
Yeah.
Bringing Squid Cicada through gates as well. Now, I normally think about that as going to Farmer Ice, getting one from there, and then going up to Industrial. Isn't too bad, but we've had a runner try to do that and get stuck in Farmer Ice for a really long time. As the moment you go to one karma, there is no food nearby.
Oh, yeah.
Especially as when you're not Hunter.
Yeah.
The unlock I thought was the grapple is actually the drop wig in Chimney. But I'm not sure where some of these unlocks are. Also, the vulture is in Chimney, but I do not know. Right now, we're thinking about some specific squares, mostly about the store 5 lanterns in a shelter. We're thinking about changing that, as that might be a bit more difficult for Survivor compared to, say, Artificer.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Mug the scabs and steal the prairies. This is going to be Survivors, the real Scruffles. We are playing Survivor today. Ultra Mask unlock is in Sky Islands. Alright. Bottom right is where, yes. The empty tower. That I thought that was something else for some reason. But where is the grapple unlock? That's the only question I need to answer.
It would probably be an exterior, right? That would make the most sense to me, but it's been quite a while since I've had to unlock it. Oh, and that's been changed to 5 batfly lures.
Now, my question to you, Shadow, do you even know where 5 are?
I'm not sure. I can only think of like one or two in outskirts, but yeah. Unless you I suppose look it up. Where would you even get that many?
That is a good question. If I remember correctly, I think there's a spot in Pipe Yard that actually has a lot next to each other.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we might see Pipe Yard here to satisfy like a few squares at once, or sort of around the same time. Oh, so the grappling worm unlock, someone says it's in far right underhang by the precipice. So that could be, that's kind of far away. I'm not seeing anything particularly around there as well.
It got moved over there, really? Very odd. Specifies above. There are 5 between outskirts and industrial. Do you know where they are, though? We can't. People are allowed to use the interactive map, so it's more than okay.
Oh, okay.
To just find out themselves. The next thing that we don't know is we do not know where the players are going to spawn until they actually spawn in here. We have locked in the board. It is going to remain to be
Ooh.
this one going forward.
So what do you think would be a good starting spot here? Or maybe a bad one for that matter?
So because this is Survivor, you can spawn in Metro and Outer Expanse.
Oh. Oh. Interesting.
However, there is something that we have learned recently, that some of the shelters are spelled with lowercase letters, which the mod creator did not expect. So if any of those shelters are chosen, we instead spawn in Outskirts. So the most likely place to spawn is Outskirts. But also, hello, Dapper Playground. Thank you for the raid. I hope stream was good. Are you prepared for bingo today? We have locked in the board and we'll be starting in 4 minutes here, while we give our teams the chance to figure out how they want to route things. There's even one shelter that exists that the name of it is too long to fit in the current bingo mod format.
Oh.
Which I think is very interesting that happened. Who are they playing? We will be playing Survivor today. Now, that's the other part of, we gotta pin dark squid cicadas in 2 different regions. Other than Outskirts, I mean, I guess it's Outskirts and
Farmer Rays, maybe?
Farmer Rays doesn't have any dark squid cicadas.
Oh,
It is only white squid cicadas. So it's actually kind of odd to think about it. I think there really is only 2 regions with them.
Yeah, so I suppose you could just take a squidcada into a different region that's next door.
Work.
Yeah, you could see that here.
And now you're transporting a lot of different squid cicadas around the map. They're not in a row, so you don't need to worry about them as much.
Yeah.
I'm like not seeing a great row here that's fast, at least. So something's gonna evolve here. The big thing, again, to think about is everyone's going to start in the same location. Everyone has one passage they can use to teleport to a previous region. With 4 people running around, and all of these squares being decent and kind of everywhere, then we have a chance to have this be very, very interesting of just which squares actually get finished. So I didn't realize this, actually. There are 3 pipe yard challenges. One of them being the Vista, which can be very annoying. However, we did have a match win because a team gambled and found the Vista immediately in piping.
Ooh, that could be interesting. Yeah, seeing 2 of those pipe yard ones along the same row and seeing shoreline right next to it, I'm thinking the middle row might be good here.
To see where people start. Now, when it comes to challenges that are like, enter this region, we cannot spawn in those regions, so we will not be spawning in pipe yard or subterranean. Now the time is up here, so we are going to be starting. We get to see the spawn location.
Ooh, is that shoreline or maybe
this seems
shaded
like garbage side shoreline to me.
Oh yeah, it might. Oh yeah,
yes, this is a nice spawn. Spawns right next to a karma flower. Stigma decides not to eat the karma flower, except goes back and is now going to eat the karma flower. Alright.
So we might see a speedrun to Moon here. Oh yeah, Brian seems to be in the lead, going straight to Moon for that pearl.
I think that is a good choice. That middle square being the
And
most
all the
important
others-
one. Everyone else is going to garbage,
Oh.
yes. It's interesting that red team's not thinking about shoreline pearl to moon whatsoever. That is a very, very important square.
Yeah, it seems like probably the easiest one at the moment, so... Ooh, there's a vulture here. Oh, and
Yes,
Brian gets to the pipe. Not being seen here.
Forgot there was Squidcicadas here in garbage. I guess Shu
Oh,
can
yeah, that's
go
true.
for 2 kills. I wouldn't really do anything else.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else you do in shoreline here other than the center square. There is hazers, but they're very harder to get to.
Yeah. It might be after going to shoreline or going to moon. I'm wondering about Brian maybe going to shaded and trying to tame a black lizard because it's on that diagonal.
Now, taming mole lizards, very difficult. Takes a lot of feeds,
Yeah.
but not as nearly as difficult as, or maybe actually the same amount of difficulty, I'm not sure, as taming an eel lizard, which did happen on a previous match. It apparently takes 6 feeds to tame an eel lizard.
Oh, jeez.
Which I don't know who decided this, but I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
How do moles even know if you want that food? You have to make enough sound so they know that you exist, and then you throw it into their face. It is awkward like that, however.
Yeah. And all the moles in shaded are kind of right next to each other, or at least the main area that I'm thinking of. So it might be a bit difficult to like spot, firstly, which one you want to tame, and secondly, avoid the others from sort of stealing it or getting in your way.
I'm kind of thinking about 2 squares suddenly, and well, one, I don't know why Brian's here, unless Brian doesn't know how to path through shoreline, which is possible. Otherwise, okay, they're just taking a slightly long way. This would work fine.
Yeah.
The other thing is the 72 points from kills in one cycle.
Ooh,
Has
we
to
might
be
see
one
that with
cycle.
we might see that with the scavenger toll here. You could also, is that in top right corner, bombing a toll?
Is bombing the outskirts toll specifically.
Oh, okay.
So you must throw it into the vicinity of one.
Yeah, I didn't notice that outskirts there. Otherwise, it would have made for some really cool synergy here. Oh, and looks like Sigma's died and is all the way. Oh no!
Was back at the beginning. They did have the
I suppose that does give the opportunity to maybe go to Moon. Oh,
I have
and
a feeling they want to just get. They want to get as far away from Moon as possible because they might have said, "Hey, Shoreline's kind of a dead end." I know it's an important square, but they can move on and be able to work on a lot of other things.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be why Sigma's going back into garbage here.
Skeff here does have one of the Dark Squidcicadas along with Shu here. Shu was first to rest. So, now that Skeffier's overtaken them a bit, so we'll see what happens. Also, with people talking about length of the match here today, we do want everyone to understand that matches have a time limit of 2 hours. Once 2 hours is reached, the team with more squares will win. Otherwise, if both teams are tied, the first team to get one more square will win.
Looks like Brian's almost here at Moon's chamber. Just a couple more rooms. Yeah.
I already see teams working on eating bat flies, whether that be on purpose or not.
Yeah.
If you're not, it's just It's very hard to do anything once you've lost that center square, because it's a lot more work to set up bingos, because say you work pretty hard to work on a diagonal, that goes towards a lot of different bingos at once, comparative to not. So Brian pretty much guaranteed to get the middle square on the first square of the match here today in decent time. Need quite a lot. Whether they use the passage to go back to their starting shelter or not is up to them. However, we have known that unless you've rest in your starting shelter, there's a large chance that you cannot passage to it after. Gefir first into Industrial here. Shu is not too far behind, however. Sigma appears to be going a different path entirely than what I would expect, unless they're going to Drainage. Which, if they're going to enter Subterranean, wouldn't be such a bad idea.
Ooh, yeah, we can see that here. And then, what about going, where do you go once you enter Subterranean? I'm not sure. I suppose you could tame the Black Lizard and find a Scavenger Merchant in Sub.
You could probably deal with eating a lot of bat flies down there, but you are pretty locked in once you're down there. However, it is easier to exit out through Drainage than it used to be, as a lot of poles have been extended. It's much easier for everyone. Brian locks in that first square of the match.
Nice, nice.
And Skefir was first to get out of Garbage, so got that first square as well.
Yeah, with the Vulture Grub. Now,
Maro Marie is talking about different things that Brian could potentially do here. I would be interested to see Brian exit out through Shaded here. I think that would be the better play, really. I think about Shaded as a huge Batfly hotspot as well.
Yeah. Do you think we might see a Mole Lizard tame, or just going straight to Industrial?
I think anything that takes a lot of time and is potentially too hard is not worth going for.
Yeah.
Of course, we've seen people get tame an Eel Lizard, and it has mattered. Shu did not jump at the Green Lizard at a good time. So that was very unfortunate for them, but they're back in Garbage Waste, I believe. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be a pretty bad loss, but the red team will be able to catch up quite a lot from. Interested to see where this goes. Gefir got bitten, maybe? I think they got bitten by the slide of the Green Lizard in the top right.
Oh,
but they were able to get out of it. But they got bitten another time because the Green Lizard fully body blocked them. So at this point, she was able to catch up again. Sigma got one of the Karma Flowers in Garbage Waste. Well, Brian's still just exiting Moon at this point. Shu got grabbed again. At this point, Karma is going to be becoming an issue because the Karma Flower no longer exists.
Oh, yeah. Looks like Sigma and Skefir are in the lead for getting into Industrial. Sigma's right next door.
Brian trying to do an EI hop in Shoreline.
Ooh.
Very difficult with the spacing.
Yeah.
Skefir's nemesis, the Green Lizard. Round 2. Let's not even fight this guy. Perfect.
Nice. And it looks like Skefir's going for the Scavenger Treasury in Industrial to get that bomb. Probably, or at least I'm thinking of going for a bomb to get the Scavenger Toll in Outskirts. And it looks like, oh, there's also lanterns here that you could potentially just sit on and start collecting.
We do not have that square anymore. It is now Batfly. I don't know what happened on Skefir's screen, but the entire treasury blew up.
Yeah, chain reaction of explosions.
So now we all know what the teams are really going for when it comes to entering Industrial. That's right. It's enter Pipe Yard. Everyone's favorite square. Please
Ooh.
go to Pipe Yard. It's better than you think sometimes, maybe. It has a lot more materials than you would think, which is why it's so good for Gourmand Food Quest. And Gourmand Food Quest being the only speedrun that we actually want to go there for. No one really thought about Pipe Yard from Shoreline, but also the amount of time you have to take to get out of that area probably isn't worth it, where I probably just enter from Subterranean, Sky Islands, or Industrial instead. Ryan getting the extra Karma Flowers in Sky Islands, which is probably worth it, as they're going to be at 3, just entering Shaded here in a moment. I don't remember... I know one other flower in Shaded, and so that can be easily gotten to 4 if they really want to go down there and get it. Otherwise, Industrial plus Chimney Flowers isn't too hard.
Yeah. I believe there's also a Karma Flower right next to... as you're entering Shaded from Shoreline?
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be good. Skeffir, I cannot read the number, but I believe they're at 3 or 4 Karma Flowers at this point. Though I don't know which ones they've actually locked in, however, because I don't believe if you eat a Karma Flower then die, if that counts. Because until you finish the challenge, when you eat a Karma Flower and die, the Karma Flower does not get left behind.
Oh.
So the one thing for people to understand about entering Pipe Yard, as some people are talking about it, is all you have to do is enter it, and then rest, and then you can just leave, and that's the enter Pipe Yard square. However, there is the bring a hazer into Pipe Yard, and the Vista Point, more importantly. Which Vista Point can be one of 3 locations.
Looks like Sigma picked up a hazer earlier, so just has to get over there. But this white lizard just camping the pipe. And I believe a scavenger.
See what happens with Sigma here. White lizard acting very odd.
Yeah. But Sigma is able to get away.
I think Sigma's pretty much locked in these 2 squares, as there really isn't anything that can stop them at this point.
Yeah.
Ryan is making good progress into Shaded, however. As long as I don't die to the Shaded Bridge.
Oh, and it looks like Hazer has stolen Skeffir's... or Blue Lizard has stolen Skeffir's Hazer.
Now, there is Eat Hazer. No!
Yeah.
So they will want that. So that's probably the worst thing that could have happened there. And
Yeah.
I think it put its head into a pipe, it dropped the Hazer, and then grabbed Skeffir. Brian is entering and is seeing a scavenger merchant. They appear to have 2 pearls that they got from the other side of Shaded Bridge. Hopefully they actually know how to trade, which a lot of players have had that problem.
And it looks like Sigma's about to enter Pipe Yard and get those 2 squares.
I do not know if the second trade with the scavenger merchant actually got counted. We're going to find out. I know I saw 1 count, but I'm not sure if the second one did. We have been having issues with players not having squares count. The scavenger merchant know that an item was given to them.
Oh no, and Sigma died to a Blue Lizard on the way to the...
Oh, the amount of times there is anything here that can ever even affect you is very, very little. Also, Skeffir just got tame a Blue Lizard here.
Oh.
I think they're going to go back and rest if they have food, which they do. Shukitsu is now caught up in Industrial. Sigma and Skefir got delayed enough that Shu has a really good chance at stopping the Pipe Yard squares.
Oh, yeah.
Skefir, I think, maybe one away from the Karma Flower as well. I don't know if Brian sheltered, but it does not appear that they've gotten the Scavenger Merchant Square, which may actually work out for them, for the other team not knowing what's happened. Red team has gotten Tame Blue Lizard Square.
So it looks like Shu and Skefir are neck and neck at the same shelter, so we might see a race here to get a Hazer in the Pipe Yard.
I'll see what Shu's actually thinking about, however, because there's a lot of things you can work on here, but getting the Hazer in the Pipe Yard is definitely the most effective to do. Looks like Brian here is going to be going for the trading with the Merchant, as that second pearl did not count.
Oh.
They need to trade 10 more points with the Scavenger Merchant. A lot of other scavengers here. All of them seem to count as the Merchant, however. Right now, Brian seems to be working on the Steel Spears from Scavengers, which I don't think they meant to do that.
Oh.
Would be a good place to do it, however.
Yeah,
they have locked in trade 10 points. They can go for the Shaded Pearl, which it looks like they are doing that.
Yeah.
It is not that hard to go get, which is good. It looks like they speared the wall there as well. They do have the Shaded Pearl now. Recommendation for people who are noticing what Shu is doing right now. Be aware that once you stab a green lizard, it is much more dangerous than it normally is. And one of the harder creatures to deal with. So sometimes you don't want to do that. Sigma has brought the Hazer into Pipe Yard once again. Looks like they didn't have problems with Karma, which is good. Mostly because of the Karma flowers, it seems like. Brian has finished the trade, 20 points to Scavenger Merchants. The one other thing to think about is trading from one Scavenger Merchant to another, which I don't know if they have 2 items, but they may be thinking about that. But what other merchant would you want to go to is another question.
Yeah. Oh, and Skefir's just entered Outskirts, so... And it seems to be going to the right. I would be thinking about probably the Toll, but I suppose Skefir might be going for the Batfly lures?
I think right now you just want to save. I do not know if they have a bomb in their stomach. That's something we'll have to find out later. Red team has locked in these 2 other squares here. Like Shu was never going for Pipe Yard.
Oh, Skefir got another Karma Flower. We might see...
This might be the final one. It might be 4. I'm not sure. It is the final one.
Oh, so that's another square locked in a moment here.
I'm unsure what Brian is doing now, unless they died and I didn't notice it.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to remember... Oh, it's... I didn't recognize the room at a first glance. So I wonder what Sigma's going to be doing here in Pipe Yard. Or what else to... Oh, the Vista Point? I forgot about that one.
If they are going for it, could be worth it.
Oh, and there are also some Squidcadas here, so you could get a couple of those. Yeah, you could pin or just kill 2 whites in a single cycle.
I feel like you just kill the 2 white lizards at this point. You can't pin the white ones, those will not count. And I do not know if any others exist. Sigma kind of just messing around with this lizard for some reason. He was able to kill it.
Maybe trying to get over it, or just killing it.
It's still not dead. It's at 1 health, I believe. Oh, it is dead. Because I hit it with a rock. Brian and Shu still thinking about what squares to get, which is a little odd to me, because Shu is never going for, seemingly, any of the squares that Ed Team has gotten. Did see a slug pup on someone's screen, but I don't know where it went.
Oh.
Slug pups aren't real, of course. Skeffir is carrying one of the Dark Squizzicatus. If they brought it into farm arrays, I think that would be quite worth it. I think you bomb the toll on the way back. If you are going to bomb it.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused at Brian's pathing here. They went out somewhere and now have come back.
Oh,
I feel like
can we see Skeffir wall pouncing up this pit?
Yes, ball pounce up the outskirts pit. Very
nice.
Good. Sigma's back at the shelter here. It's unfortunate. Looks like Brian is going for tame a mole lizard, which is not going to be easy.
Yeah, for sure.
Feel like if I'm Shu, I really want to try to get Eat Batflies and Hunter Passage. Mole lizards being a bit too hard to tame today. Would there be a reason? I guess we also would want to go up to Sky Islands, potentially.
Yeah.
I feel like you just want to block Red's bingos at this point if you're blue. You're not going to bingo at this point. You need to inconvenience Red as much as possible when you're this far behind. Blue's advantage basically only exists within them having the middle square at this point, and Brian going a completely different route into shaded.
I'm wondering if they might be going for the diagonal here.
I do not remember where either of these unlocks are, mostly the grub, but if Shu goes to Sky Islands, I believe that's the Vulture Mask and the 2 pearls in Sky Islands, because there's like 4 pearls there. So that would be really worth it. You can kill 2 Squizzicatas easy up there too, but I think Skeffir's got that. Skeffir also did assuredly get the bomb the outskirts toll, so as long as they get 1 more squid here, they get 2 more squares.
Oh, I believe there's also a noodlefly egg nearby. Skeffir seems to be going back in the outskirts, maybe?
I feel like you don't go for noodlefly eggs unless there is 2 of them, which would basically be farm arrays next to
and outskirts.
Sky Islands. There's like 1 in outskirts. It's different for Survivor compared to everyone else.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I'm Shu. I definitely really want to get up chimney as fast as I can here.
Yeah.
Just any square would be really worth it. Now that Skeffir has locked in 2 more squares here.
Yeah.
There's no real going for a bingo here. It is more just complete domination over the board, as all of these squares are kind of just everywhere. The diagonal from top left to bottom right is still very open for blue team, and is very possible for them. If Brian is constantly eating batflies and getting Hunter, he's likely to be what happens. Seems like Brian has decided to just leave rotated at this point.
Oh. So maybe trying to speedrun blocking out squares over the diagonal.
The one problem with this is the only place they're really gonna go to is industrial,
Yeah.
which everyone's already been through there. So Brian's not really gonna be able to do much of anything outside of bring trade items to other scavenger merchant, which right now the only... I guess you could have Brian go subterranean and trade with a subterranean merchant. I think that honestly would be the best thing right now.
Yeah, I can see that. Wonder what Skefir is going to be going for next here. I suppose you could speedrun to farm rate or subterranean, but
at all. Right
oh,
now.
oh, they're. Whoa,
that was pretty lucky with the tongue.
Yeah, some weird physics going on, but
Yes,
it worked out.
There is no reason to be in this room, so I'm questioning what they are going for, unless it's early Pearl or Sky Islands.
Oh yeah.
But yes, Brian would want to go to sub through outskirts. Drainage. It's like Sigma found the Vista Point, did not notice it. That was actually a really good time. At this point with Sigma being where they are, I'd probably have... Oh, I guess it depends. Having Sigma go to sub here would be a lot of pressure on blue team, because now stuff becomes a lot harder to really do anything. There's no real go to location and do thing. It's kind of like there's stuff just everywhere. Of course there is the unlocks, but those are pretty out of the way. Outside of if Shoot gets to Sky Islands, which right now there is the chance that Skefir gets there first. We'll see how that goes. Is going to be getting into industrial here in a bit, but that'll be taking some time.
Wondering if Shu might be resting here, or seems like maybe to save the gold pearl from Chimney.
I think Shu is just unfamiliar from moving through Chimney fast.
Yeah.
So it's just making sure that they do not die.
Yeah.
I believe Skefir used the Forbidden Shelter here, which does not exist for Hunter and a lot of other characters.
Yeah.
Actually useful for Bingo, however. A great spot for that pink lizard, because they get stuck on that terrain, and now they're in a spot where it's really easy to fall on top of them. Unless you really know how to do this jump that Shu is going to be attempting to do here, it is not easy, or they're just going to do the hardest thing and just drop high.
Nice, nice. Oh, I didn't notice what...
Like Skefir died there. Brian is properly into industrial here. I do question what Sigma would be doing at this point. It's likely going to have to do with the squid cicadas, but I don't know if there are any dark squid cicadas here.
Yeah.
But if you're bringing squid cicadas through gates, that is a possibility.
Oh.
It is kind of a race between Shu and Skefir here. I believe if Skefir gets to Sky Islands before Shu, it's pretty much over for blue team.
Yeah. Oh wait, Sigma is also right next to Sky Island, so we might see 3 of them here.
They have gone this way. I did not realize.
Yeah.
Sigma doing fast pole climb very well here.
Nice.
Going up to this path that Sigma went through to get into Sky Islands is not easy. There's like 2 hard rooms that is not that simple to go through, but Sigma was able to get there pretty fast, all things considered.
Yeah. Oh, and Sigma doesn't have food to rest here, so we'll have to rest in Sky Islands, and Sigma's the first to enter Sky Islands.
So Brian dropped one of their trade items.
Pearl.
Shu does have 1 pearl. So they will have the advantage in getting that a bit faster.
Yeah.
But I do think the mask unlock is more important for Blue here, as it kind of feels like the only way Blue can win is with Bingo. Because Skeffir and Sigma are kind of just getting overall more distance.
There's so much going on in this room that Shu's just stuck in with all the vultures. Oh, it looks like they might be leaving though.
Who needs to stop second guessing? It'd be better if they died in a lot of these cases and how long they're taking. But
it looks like Skeffir might be going to
experienced.
Subterranean.
Well, we'll see which direction they go here. If they do go up, they are going to Sky Islands. Just it's not an easy thing to get to.
Yeah.
I am hoping to just see some squares. I didn't expect that Blue get here, as it is not looking terribly amazing. Brian is starting to collect Batnip here. I don't know how many are actually close by.
Yeah. And do they need to all be collected into the same shelter, or can you do them?
They all have to be in the same shelter.
Oh. That's a lot more challenging.
Also, for people talking in chat about speedrunning, the one main thing that I will always say is if you can beat this game, you can speedrun this game. And there's a lot of categories that are good when you're just starting, but if you want to play as a specific character, then play as that specific character. There's a lot of categories that aren't run as much that are very interesting, whether it be the pilgrimage runs, that being you getting echoes and then going to ascend, to other ones that aren't done as often, like Hormon's Food Quest. They're also very nice. You don't really need to know movement, and when it comes to controller's issue is the fact it can't press left and then right quickly. Otherwise, you can do everything the same as keyboard, in some cases even better if you were able to deal with it. There's just being precise with the stick can be difficult at times, and then use D-pad that can also work out. It's really whatever you're more comfortable with. There are a lot of speedrunners with controller that have very good times. The top Hunter runner that has most of the Hunter world records uses controller. Not sure what Skeffir's been doing. It kind of just seems like they keep resting over and over. They're probably going for the Hunter passage because there's a lot of baby centipedes near here, which would be a huge square for red.
Yeah.
One other thing about speedrunning is, for the most part, it's kind of just you do the route. And whatever that route may be, whether you make one yourself or you copy someone else, it's really just learning that and figuring it out. You by no means need to do the most optimized thing ever. Just make it interesting, like, hey, I want to do Gourmand's Quest, or I want to beat Spearmaster's story as fast as I can. Looks like Shu is first to getting the mask unlock, unless Sigma got it and I just didn't notice.
Yeah.
Which is possible, because they were just in the same room. We'll see here in a second if Sigma did get it first. If they did, that's really not... It does look like Sigma has gotten the mask unlock just before Shu got it.
Oh,
I don't know if Shu has the Sky Islands Pearl either, so they may only have one Pearl with them. Or... I believe they still have the Pearl in their stomach. But now that Shu's resting here, just barely lost out on getting that. Looks like Sigma's going to be passaging out despite the Sky Islands being there. It's pretty much over for red here, for green, for blue here.
Fortunate. Wondering what Brian's going for here. Still the Batfly lures?
They have been carrying around a lot of Batfly lures. We'll have to see how it goes. We will be playing this out until either blue team feels as though they want to forfeit or otherwise. There are 0 bingos available for blue team. They would just have to get more squares than red team, which I do not believe is possible. Unless red team makes a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, they're currently at 9. Excuse me. They're currently at 9, so to get to 13, how many are convenient here? There's enter sub, probably. I wonder what Sigma's doing back in Pipe Yard.
It's like red team got the Batnip square and I did not realize. I'm surprised because I did not see them going for it. I thought Brian was about to get it here.
Yeah, I've not been keeping track of Batfly progress. It's kind of been just passively building up between all of them.
I think Sigma passaged to Pipe Yard, and there's just a lot just next to each other there in Pipe Yard, which is likely just what happened.
Might be seeing Sigma descent all the way down into sub here.
That likely would be the best thing to go for. I still think Skeffir is going for squares for Hunter and the Batfly square.
Oh, yeah.
Which I believe at that point that'll put them at 12. Skeffir is locked in, eat Batflies. Be seeing what Shu and Brian are thinking here, as they are aware of the situation, of course. It is always possible to come back, but this is not something that is quite easy. They also have to stop red team's bingos while they're at it.
Oh, that wall pounce from Skeffir to climb from that lower platform onto the upper one. I've never seen that before.
They're trying to set up, doing a lot more vaults to just get up small heights.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and save on spears.
One thing about Skeffir and Sigma is that Skeffir doesn't have a mic, so they don't actually talk to each other.
Oh,
I
yeah.
am unsure how they communicate otherwise. That is their biggest weakness. But it appears that it did not matter as much once they fully got on the outskirts. It's
Yeah.
interesting to see that that center square actually did turn up to be such a bad thing for
Yeah.
blue team. Just because Brian was unable to do anything for so long.
Oh, and that's two more locked in.
They
All they
are
have to do
at
is
12 squares. They only need one more square. It could be any square on the map, and they will win.
yeah. Wondering, Skeffir is close to Sky Island, so we might see the two colored pearls.
Shall see. I know
So
Shu. I
Shu,
assume Shu still
yeah,
has the one pearl in their stomach. They can very much still get it.
yeah,
I think at this point, Brian needs to go left, get a dark squid cicada or a white squid cicada, and start moving them around, pinning them to the walls, carrying them through multiple gates. That
yeah.
and stealing multiple spears from scavengers. Looks like Brian's setting up a passage, however. We'll see where he actually decides to go here. Back to Shoreline, going to the starting shelter, it seems like. Looks like it did not show up, however.
It's unfortunate.
Kepir went back down to get something. I missed exactly what they were doing. There are the hatched noodlefly eggs right nearby, though.
Yeah.
Kepir did not eat food. I wonder if they're locking in something here, just because of how they've been moving around. They've missed if they did something.
Me too. Oh. Cool movement attack. Looks like
Blue did
Skeffir's
get
gonna be.
locked in that Sky Island square. That is great. It's a good one for them to get. However, at this point, Shu is now in an awkward situation. I think you go for carry the white squid cicada through two gates. If I was
Yeah.
Shu. Which wouldn't be
Does it have
too
to be?
hard. It has to
Does
be
it
the
have to be the
same
same
squid
cicada?
cicada, yes.
Oh.
It can be dead.
Ah. Although a survivor, that's gonna be. That sounds quite difficult.
Looks like red team
Oh,
did pin dark squid cicadas. I did not
and
see when they did that for Skeffir.
yeah,
But
and
that
that's the
is
bingo.
the win for red team there. Thank you for both teams for being part of this. It's very I was like, huh, that moon square is really good, but you're also really isolated from all of the other squares. I didn't think
Uh,
it would be as bad as it was, and it did end up as bad as it was. All
yeah,
players leaving, not going for moon, did have issues leaving, but red team was basically able to stop all of what Shuketsu was doing. It was just over at that point. The big thing of you gotta hope your teammate does really well while you do one thing that is assured that you're kind of locked into for a while is definitely a hard thing. Going ever out on the edges of the map is not easy decision to make.
yeah,
I've not seen it where such a like, oh, middle square, we gotta get it, and then it actually is just bad. That's such a future thing for a lot of people to think about
yeah,
because that is unfortunate the way this match went. I expected it to be a lot closer, and I think it was all because of this center square kind of messing everything up and not allowing blue team to be able to do what they want. But that is
yeah.
everything that's going on here. Congratulations to red team. That means Jeff here in Sigma Sigma also being a substitute for one of our other members that is not able to be around for the rest of the tournament. But they'll be moving on to winners semifinals, I believe.
Oh,
And they'll win one more time. There'll be a winners finals, and then after that, it would be grand finals for them. But it is now, they're now going to be out of the tournament. Brian and Chukitsu will be out of the tournament. But thank you to both of them again for being part of this tournament. It's been great to have them. It's great to have everyone here that is watching as well be part of this event. Whether you're watching, you're helping, volunteering, or are participating yourselves, it is greatly appreciated for all of you being here. And thank you for being here as well, Shadow, being a commentator here with me today.
yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes, it is great to see more people be able to help out with the event, and I definitely want more people to have the commentator experience. Especially even if
Yeah.
you don't know the event immediately at first, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I kind of learned most about this event last night just watching a couple VODs. So, yeah, I wasn't super talkative, but I'm hoping I'm hoping if I do end up having to commentate at some point, I might be able to do a bit more. Especially, I'd like to give some score runner perspectives, but we didn't see much combat as far as like maybe scoring with that 72 points in a single cycle
We were kind of
or
hoping for
other.
potential vulture cheese, I believe. Every time there's like
Yeah,
a do it a single cycle, it's kind of been people kind of trying to go in for that. That's what I've
yeah,
noticed.
I can definitely see that.
Yes. All right. For everyone watching here, our next match will be tomorrow. It'll be, let me see here, at 4 p.m. tomorrow. So that will be in 29 hours from right now, as I understand. Actually, a bit more than that, but you get the idea. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. If you want to get pinged when we start this match, we will ping in the announcements channel the specific bingo match role if you opt into it. Again, thank you all for watching. We'll see y'all then. And that'll be the last of this first round of top 8. We're getting down to the final matches here. The winners final is already decided, and the 2 winners semifinals are about to be decided. Who's going to be in it soon. But we'll see y'all later. Thank you for being around again.
Thank you.